Welcome back to aventglitch. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're having a great whatever weekday. This is my vest that I made. It wasn't gonna be a vest originally, but it ended up being one. This took forever. It felt like to make this vest because I just kept on sewing. I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew what I wanted to look like. But I didn't know I was gonna turn into a vest because I saw the collar and I was like, this fabric is gonna be a bitch to sew on. So I did for sewing. So. It's like that constant thing of like doing it again and again and again and again and again and again and literally. I mean, I had it edited on 10 hours of footage. I mean, it probably only took 25 minutes. I mean, I had a little bit of a break, so maybe it took 9 hours and 30 minutes, but still, it was still a lot. I mean, this took over multiple days of those 9 hours at least. I think I don't honestly remember. And I was still, I think I was just getting sick too. So yeah, all this stuff was going on, just constant, just like negativity. And then I think I was getting my lining fabric made as well, not my lining pattern. So I was just in this constant, like, forever throwaway. I don't know what I'm doing. This is random fabric that I have lying around, kind of a deal. So this whole garment was just based upon anything I could just find, because I've done it before, but I didn't do it with this pattern because it was a new pattern that I, designed with my pattern maker. And yeah, that was a fun time. I miss you so much. I mean, you're still around, but you know what I mean. I don't see her as often as I used to because I'm no longer in the classes that I was in. But yeah, after class, I hired her to, do personal projects, and it was great. It's great, and I'm happy that she designed my main line. She's amazing at it. But anyways, yeah. So this is just a part of it, and I don't know. I don't know why I set the grueling work of 9 hours of like constant sewing, because mostly this was the cutting only took like 30 minutes maximum. This is literally just like making sure the garment doesn't fall apart. Because if I just sewed it any other way, it would have fell apart because. I had to like make sure that it was stitched and stitched and stitched and stitched. I mean, these always take around 8-9 hours. So this isn't like the first time I've done this. The first time I did it, it took not 8 hours. The second time I did it, took 8 hours. This took 9 because I wasn't used to the pattern yet. Because by the time because I designed that full pattern in my class with my mentor. The first one that I did, which you can go see back my reels somewhere. And on my Instagram, there's people trying it on. Stuff like that, and that stuff just took forever. Anyways, yeah, if you that's the thing, like, this is just time consuming. Like the grueling work. I mean, I know how to like perfectly top stitch things and like perfectly finish seams and stuff like that, and I don't know, I got bored with that, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. This is the product of me just like finding my style and just finding out things and just messing around and trying different things and having fun with life. And having fun with the skill that I learned. Might as well just, not do it like everybody else and figure out my own signature style. And that's like the process that you're watching most of the time whenever I'm doing this. I'm just like, well, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do next? So this is constantly just like me trying new things over and over and over and over again. And yeah, like, it can become a mess sometimes. I mean, especially because I don't have I don't work for a business, I'm just all myself. So, I don't get paid. Like some people get paid, like, I don't know, $25 an hour or something. I don't even get paid that. I mean, if I was doing this work, I would want to get paid minimum $30. But I would honestly want to get paid $60 an hour if I was doing it, to be honest with you. Because I just wouldn't want to do work for somebody else. I mean, that's why technically whenever I do sell something, it's about $60 an hour. I mean, Fron Fabric's up for 1,000% or whatever on profit, because the fabric is, I can't buy expensive fabric, so but like whatever I work with, I always make sure that it's quality over quantity, which is why I only could do like 30 in 7 months, because I don't want to like overwork myself. Apparently some people make 13 a day. I didn't even realize some people make 13 a day. I just can't believe that. I wouldn't be able to like sit down and actually make 13 of these a day. I would be miserable. I would want to I would probably shoot myself. Like I would not be happy. Like you go jump off a bridge or something. I mean, jokingly, of course, but no, I would, that's how I would feel the whole time, because I would just be like 13. I just couldn't imagine, like, I just like making one a day, I mean, one a week, and then doing these videos. Like, like that's already exhausting, because my quality would go all the way down to like nothing. I don't know how I would like live or even breathe. Like, even using the bathroom or eating food or something, like, wouldn't exist if I did 13 a day. Like, I mean, I understand, like, maybe if you cut out like 13 sleeves a day, 13 backs a day, like that concept. Like, if you just like have a system, I guess that would work. But I don't know also, because like I don't know how that would work. I mean, if I had a team of people, if I had enough people on the team, we'd be able to do 13 a month, right? Because like, I have enough people, we could add production. But like, I'm one person. I can't do 13 a day. That would kill me. But I'm also not 21 either, or 20 like the young kids, I guess. I also haven't seen their work, so I don't know. I don't know if that's a lie, if that's the truth, but like, I'm not a sweatshop. I'm literally just in my apartment in a room yelling in the void at billionaires, saying how pissed off I am at rich people in fashion. And thinking, I'm not really like, fast fashion sucks, but I'm more mad at the children making the fashion than the actual like, I don't know, like, production of it, because I'm like, I don't know how it's sewn and everything, but like, I don't know, I feel like those children should be in school and not working for 10 cents a day to feed their families. If there's their child, they shouldn't be in the factory. But like, that's, I don't know, we don't talk about that enough, in my opinion. All we ever talk about is like, oh, the waste and the pile of fabric. But yeah, I have a big pile of fabric at my home, but I'll use it all. And then I see a whole bunch of vintage sellers. They have a big pile of fabric. I don't know, and vintage could be made anywhere by anybody, by anything. Oh, I don't know, it's just a trend. I don't know how long trends last. I don't even know if this will I don't know if anything will last. Like, if it's made well enough, it'll last. That's the only thing. When it's made well, it depends on the production and the quality and how fast or slow it's made. If it's made by actual experts and artisans, or it's just made by a whole bunch of fast, 10-year-olds or whatever, even younger than that, trying to feed their families, which is wrong. 10-year-olds shouldn't be doing that. They should actually be like, I don't know, going to school. That really upsets me. I couldn't imagine. I'd be so upset if I was a parent. But I know they have no other choice, so, But anyways, that's the kind of stuff that, like, keeps me up at night. And I do talk about it a lot when I'm live streaming. But anyways, I'm going to go talk in the other part of this, so please enjoy watching me sew for a little bit, because I have some other things I need to say later. Thank you. Hope you're having a great day. This garment has a funny story behind it. I won it in a contest, because I won one of the Depop Amplified contests, whatever the hell they call it now. They keep on changing the name. Anyway, so yeah, because I was inspired by this designer at one point in my life, I went to a pop-up in my area, and he was there. It was like, oh, that's great to like meet you and say hello and all that. And what happened was I gave him the garment. I have a photo with him in the garment. I won't ever show it, because I don't. Whatever. I just want to keep this. Like, if you know, you know. Like, that's how you'll know. But anyways, as the kids say. Anyways, so I was right there, and I gave him the garment, and The one I wanted to give him, he didn't like, so I gave him the other one, and I don't even remember. I don't actually remember the interaction really all that well. But you know, I was just happy. You know, just like, hey, thank you, like for like, you know, inspiring me and all that. And I was like, that's cool, that's chill, whatever. Anyways, turns out later he made a pair of pants, and like the way that I sewed it together, he like copied it and sanitized it and made it commercial. The problem is here is that like I'm okay with that. I'm okay that he did all that and didn't give me credit because I don't really give a shit about that. But the thing is that, you know, he's the type of guy that says it's all me. But he has 4 seamstresses or something, so it's not really him, and he gives no credit to his team. And I don't know. I just don't care for that. Like, how can he not give credit, you know, where credit is due? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. You know, I just have this problem with like people doing that stuff, and you know, so then someone, I was actually at another not my first official, it wasn't like official pop-up, I just randomly got into a store, and I was there the whole time, and this one lady walked in, because it was after I gave him the garment. I said, this is his work, this looks exactly like his work, and I'm like, oh, so maybe he like posted it in a group chat and said it was his work, because I did see the garment once next to a sewing machine in his studio, and that's what he did with it. He just put it there, so, you know, he probably, like you know, I don't know, probably, like, deconstructed it and, like, stole it from me, you know, like, the problem is, that was weird, is a bigger designer stole from him, and he was pissed off, but then, like, you know, and then I'm a smaller designer, and he's bigger than me, obviously, because, you know, that's why I looked up to him, too, at one point in my life, not anymore, because, you know, he steals stuff, but you know what I mean, like, what I'm trying to say here, like, why would you do that to someone when you know what it feels like and you know how terrible it is? Like, you literally are, like, I don't know, you're like a con at that point. Like, I was gonna say, like, I told my children brother about this. He's like, oh no, that's not even a parody of oneself. That is a complete con of someone else. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So yeah, you know, like I was saying, like, I mean, you're gonna post stuff on the internet anyway. Someone's gonna see it and steal it from you. But he didn't even know who I was. He didn't even pay attention to me, you know, no matter how much I tried to, like, reach out or talk to him. Like, I was invisible until I gave him something of mine that I made. And, like, I'm looking at a similar sleeve that I've made, and he copied that down to the T. And, you know, obviously it would never look as good as mine, because mine actually care about what I do, and I will spend, like, an hour or 3 hours doing it while he just tells his team to do it for him. So, you know, like, it will never be the same. But, you know, it's just kind of funny to me how someone would go through that experience and then do that to somebody else. Because, like, well, it happened to me, so I'm like, well, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, I mean, I don't know. This is my opinion. I could be completely wrong. You know, I'm sure people in the comments will say something, like, about something. I don't know. Whoever watches this, maybe not. Maybe just think, well, that guy's an asshole. And I'm like, well, maybe. I don't know. Like, but, like, that's the thing, like, always stand up for yourself, always stick up for yourself. You know, if you have an idea that's stolen, at least you know you are, you know, at least you have original ideas, and the other person just can't think of them, you know? So, you know, I think that's a good idea. Anyways, that's what I really have to say here. Hope you enjoy until I say something again in this. Thank you. Having your design stolen from someone bigger from you is, in a sense, kind of flattering, because it's like, oh, like, they talk about how great they are, how they're a lone wolf, how like like you call them out on their bullshit, the second they start stealing from you, because it's all like, damn, you literally say all these things and it's a complete lie and none of it's true, and you can go back and track it because you could just point at something and be like, yeah, these are all lies. So you can really call people out on their bullshit if you go out of their way and do that. And I was in a sense trying to do that because this is how I am as a person. But I'm not an investigative and journalist. I'm not interested in doing journalism or anything like that. But I was just really curious. I have morbid curiosity sometimes. Okay, and I think this just really clicked into that. And I'm like, let's see if this guy's telling the truth. Let's see if he's lying, and it's all lies. Maybe some of it's true. It's the truth buried in lies. Maybe you can pick and pull things and choose things and have this huge difference, and I don't know, but I understand this is common in any creative field, in any creative place. I mean, I almost got kicked off of Depop because someone was like, oh, you're sharing your Instagram or something, and I have my link tree in my Depop, and lots of people have their Instagram linked to their Depop, so I don't know. Because people are just mad that I won a contest of Depop or something, which how I got that garment, which is why I used it in this, and then I actually cut it away because I used it in the sleeve, and I cut it away anyways. I don't like the way it looked, the fabric, and he didn't even bake it that well or that right, because he didn't really follow grain line, and in my opinion, with the amount of knit and woven fabric together and how cheap both of them were, it just looked bad. To the trained eye, but untrained eye, I can see why someone would like that and fall for the manipulation game. That how quality it is, look how good it is. Look, it's all me. Even though I made 40 of them, you made 40 of them all by yourself. That would take me. If I make 30 in 7 months, that would take. I don't have a team of seamstresses. I don't have to make it exactly the same consistently. Yeah, that would take over. That would take over a year. I don't think it took them over a year to do that with 4 seamstresses. There's no way. I would actually hire a bigger team to get that done, and whatever, cut losses on it or whatever. Because if I really wanted to do that, that's what I would do. I wouldn't do it the way I wouldn't do that with I wouldn't put my team through grueling work for copying something again and again and again and again. That would make me upset. Stuff like that. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe he made less with them. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't pay attention anymore. But I know he used the fabric in another project, and that was scraps of fabric that were left in another project, and they were sewn together by his team. Because no way hell he did it. I don't believe it. I don't believe a word that they say anymore. If they're going around stealing stuff from people. That's what I'm just trying to say. As soon as that happens, none of it's real. It's all fake. You're like, oh, well, yeah, of course. How could someone do all that work by themselves? It'd be impossible. I know I wouldn't. I know I'm not doing 13 of those a day. I'd be upset. I'd be miserable. I'm not, I would be. I would that's what I'm trying to say here. There's all these different things going on. What's real? What's fake? I don't know anymore. It's just, I also made this red jacket, this black jacket with red lining, and then he kept on asking me questions about it, and then a year later I saw him make a black jacket with red lining in it, and I'm like, my morbid, and that's another reason my morbid curiosity, took over. Black jacket, red lining would seem like anybody would know what that is, right? But no, I'm glad they're inspired, but I don't know, just the fact that it was stolen just kind of upsets me. It looks exactly like this sleeve. Oh, similar, a little more sanitized, but there's a sleeve that I'm looking at right now on my rack that looks like that. So, there's all this stuff going on all the time in the creative fields. That's one thing you have to understand when you start this. People are just going to be cons and steal from you and claim it made it, and you claim they do it all themselves, even though it's impossible, and they're self-taught, even though they had a teacher once, and they'll never tell you who the teacher is, because I don't know why they're like that. It's just, to me, it's wrong. It's not right. I couldn't imagine how people go ahead and do that. You know, like I'm in this constant state of like, well, at least, you know, people compare me to Mason. I don't even know his last name. I don't really care for him that much. Never really liked his work. I think his creative director, the lady, was way better than he ever was, in my opinion. I think women are better in fashion than men. I'm just gonna say that right now. You know, all my mentors have been women. All my favorite art directors have been women. I think men, like I just like creating the fashion. I don't want to do all the other work. Even like my first mentor, she's like, you know, she's like a swan. I'm like the hobo giving the swan.
And then you'll be like, wow,
you know, like that's how I always feel near her.
look how wrong
You know, like she just
it's sold
so
in front of them,
elegantly and like so amazing, like knows what
even when
she
they said it
wants
would
and
never
she-
sell.
You know, I that rubbed off on me, but you know, like my you know, I do like blazers. He does like beautiful dresses and gowns and like stuff that's like I just see it and just like completely outcompetes anything that I do. And you know, I shouldn't be comparing myself, but you know, she's also been doing it for like over 50 years. So you know, like I've been doing it for 3, I'm about to be you know almost 4 years. So you know, like of course, they you know that's like the thing. You know, like that's how I always feel. But anyways, I'm sure, you know, the guy that stole my designs maybe felt similar to that, which is why someone would do that. But I don't know. I don't know why if he knows what it's like to have his design stolen, I don't know why he would do that to someone else. But at the end of the day, like both of those designers are making way more money than I am. like the designer that stole from him is making apparently over $300 million a year, allegedly. And the second designer that was bigger than me that stole from me is like getting big brand deals from huge companies and stuff like that. And, you know, and I'm just, you know, here cutting and sewing in my apartment, working with like no budget and stuff like that. No team, just me, my part-time pattern maker. Whenever I get a chance to hire her, you know, to like when she's not busy enough. When she's not busy and she has a low time in work, I can hire her to make a pattern for me. And that's really about it. Like, you know, and I would love a team. I would give them all credit. I wouldn't steal anything from them. I don't know why I would do that. I don't know why I'm like that. Everyone says, you don't do that. I'm like, well, I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me personally. I don't know why. I'd be the worst fashion designer on the planet. Actually, I already been called the worst fashion designer on the planet, so it would make sense then, by default, because I would actually give credit where credit is due, and be like, I wouldn't even want to walk on stage. I would just, you know, have my team walk up on stage at the end and be like, you all wave. I don't want to be here. I want to be exploring France with my family. I don't want to be here, like on stage, like you know, like Junjae, like Chunjae, whatever. No, Junjae. Thank you. That's it. Yeah, like him. I can't speak. You dumb white American. You can speak. Oh yeah, right. I can't speak Korean. Yes, that is true. Anyways, you know, stuff like that. That's exactly what I would want to do and be like whenever I get the chance to be. You know, I like it how he's never in the show floor or anything like that. He's just like gone with his wife, exploring France, drinking wine or whatever. I don't know what you do in France. Eating croissants, you know, like shit. You know, at that point, this is a company vacation for me. You know, like the team probably did more work than I did. They deserve more credit than me. I just got like stamped approval. Okay. They do this, and that. Okay, you do all the work, and now you get all the credit. Don't leave me alone. I just want my money, and I just want to go explore. I don't care. You know, just like Junjae, whatever. I can't. Junchae. Excuse me. It's Junchae. Yes, okay. I don't speak Korean. Once again, I apologize for that. Anyways, I should speak Korean. I should really learn. All my garments are based off the hanbok. But I can't. Learning a language is hard. You live in Korea for, you know, years to probably understand it. And then I'll probably like be under, you know, since the state, like under whatever that medicine is, and be all like trying to wake up and speaking fluent Korean because I heard it for years upon years upon years, and be like, how do I know? I know the language because I live there, but I don't understand the word. or something like that. But stuff like that. It'd be a fun experience, for sure. But anyways, yeah, I anybody that wants to do something creative, suspect anyone bigger than you to steal from you. Like, I saw that on a TikTok post. This guy wanted to do a collaboration with someone, and he wanted to make the toy like a Captain America toy or something, and then he stole the idea and made a Captain America ad for it, and now it's posted, and he actually made it public and stuff like that, and good for him. He deserves the engagement and the money and whatever you get from all that. But I would never do that personally. I just don't care enough to do it. I just want to tell you all creative people out there that watch this that don't worry about it. It will happen. Anyways, hope you have a great day. Goodbye. Thank you. It was gigantic sleeves. Now it's surged. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna make a t-shirt now.